Horror games are probably one of the most iconic gaming genres ever, and I've played a couple of horror games. I've played FNAF 1, 2, and 3, I've played Fears to Fathom, I've played quite a few horror games in my life. So today, I'm going to be talking about horror games that I could easily survive, and some that I won't be able to survive. Without further ado, let's get right into it. FNAF is probably one of, if not the most iconic horror game franchise in the world. Ask anyone if they know what FNAF is, and they might not have played it, but they definitely know what it is. And I have a very good strategy to win, like in FNAF. And before you say it, no, I'm not going to say I just call out of work or not accept the offer. Here's my plan on how to beat Five Nights at Freddy's. I would play through night 1, and then I would realize that, the building, this building has shitty power. So on night 2, I'd bring in a spare generator and an axe to defend myself with. If any of the animatronics try and attack me, I pull out my axe and beat the shit out of them. And then I wear their mask as a disguise. And then, when the power goes out, I activate the spare generator after hooking it up to, the system. And boom, I've won. Repeat that process until, I completed my week's worth of work. And if Golden Freddy appears in my office, I'm not scared. All I gotta do is pull up my camera, and he leaves. Golden Freddy is not a threat in the slightest. Alright, so there's my strategy on how to beat FNAF 1. Honestly, I think it's pretty good. And let me know what you think of that strategy. I think it's pretty good. So in case you don't know what Poppy Playtime is, it's become a very popular horror game franchise as of recently. Basically, you're a former employee at this toy factory, and one day you took the day off work, but then that same day the factory closed forever and never reopened. And then 10 years later, while you're just chilling at home, probably with a wife and kids now, you get a letter from the company saying that the employees disappeared the day that you called out of work. So, you get suspicious. So like the typical white protagonist in a horror movie, you go and investigate. And then later on you find out you're not alone. These cracked up toys are wandering around and are going to kill you. Okay, first things first, I'm just saying this right now. I am not surviving Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. Have you seen Huggy Wuggy? He looks like he's on crack, or meth, or blue crystals or something like that. I don't even want to know what this guy is on, but I'm terrified of this man. Look at his face. Why is he drooling? Ugh. Honestly, I'm probably not surviving Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. That's all I'm gonna say. Chapter 2, on the other hand, I have a very low chance of surviving. Mommy Longlegs is terrifying. I'm terrified of Mommy Longlegs. She scares the shit out of me. So yeah, I'm not surviving Chapter 2 either. And then there's Chapter 3, which I have not played. But bro, not only has Poppy Playtime activated my fear of clowns and dolls, but they've also taken my allergies. I'm allergic to cats. And guess what the enemy of Chapter 3 is? A giant cannibalistic cat. I'm not surviving. So yeah, I'm not surviving Poppy Playtime at all. I do have a strategy to beat Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, however. Since Catnap is a cat, I just bring in a yarn ball and throw it down a very, very, deep pit, and boom, he goes right for us since he's a stupid ass cat, and then boom, the threat has been eliminated. It's that simple. That's all I'm gonna say. It's easy. Alright, now let's move on to the next horror game. Now, The Wicker Devil is actually a very impressive video game. I'm gonna say it right now. You guys don't know, this game was created by this YouTuber called Strawcat, who made it in only 24 hours. That's impressive. Bro made a fully functioning horror game in only 24 hours. Good job, bro. And he actually kind of cooked with this game as well. But I just want to say, I don't think I'd actually survive. Well, yes, I probably would. See, here's the thing about me. I don't feel cold. I don't feel the cold. So if the generator goes out, I'd be chilling, because I don't feel cold anyway. Yes, I'd probably get hypothermia, but I've gotten hypothermia before. It's not really that bad. Okay, yeah, it is. It is very bad. But still, if this weird demonic deer creature was just taunting me this whole time, I don't know. I don't know. If I have to survive a satanic deer in the middle of the woods, I don't know. I don't know how I would survive that. I just wouldn't go outside. That's it. Very simple. Now honestly, I'm confused. How the hell does Hello Neighbor count as a horror game? It's not even scary. It's more goofy than scary. I played it one time in my friend's house, and honestly, this is probably the most unscary game I've actually played in like my whole goddamn life. Basically, you're this kid that just moved into this new neighborhood, and you see your neighbor potentially committing a murder or a kidnapping, one or the other. So you decide to go and investigate, like the average white protagonist in a horror movie. Like, you're the kind of person that dies first in a horror movie. Why do you always feel the need to go and investigate shit? But anyway, you break into your neighbor's basement, you find absolutely nothing. Well, you don't break in yet. You have to complete a ton of puzzles while being chased by your neighbor. And further proof that this isn't even really a horror game, he doesn't even kill you. He just throws you out of his house like a normal civilian. Like, the neighbor just seems like a normal guy. He just doesn't want people intruding on his property. Like, that's all he wants. He doesn't want people invading his privacy and intruding on his property. That's literally it. That's literally it. There's nothing wrong with this man. He did nothing wrong. Free my bro. He has done nothing. But yeah, Hello Neighbor is really easy to beat. Just mind your own fucking business and don't break into his house. My Poppy Playtime, I've actually played all 4 episodes of Fierce to Fathom, and I just want to say, no. Episode 1 I have a chance of surviving, because, let's be honest, the only way you can really die is if you open the door. That's the only real way you can die in Fierce to Fathom. So I just wouldn't open the door to anyone. My mom always tells me not to answer the door to strangers when she's not home, so that's what I do. I just wouldn't answer the door. Simple as that. I just wouldn't go to the door if I hear it knocking, and if someone says there's someone outside my door, I'm going to the kitchen, grabbing a cleaver, and then waiting there for the guy to come out. And then I'd beat the shit out of him. It's that simple. Like, bro, it's easy as hell. Episode 2, on the other hand, you literally can't die in episode 2, so I'm fine with that one. Plus, I don't go into motels anyway, because they're sketchy as shit. Alright, now we have episode 3, Carson House, where, like, crazy woman breaks into your house. Carson House might be probably the hardest of all these ones to beat. Oh wait, I forgot Ironbark thing. I forgot Ironbark Lookout existed. So Carson House would probably be like a bit easier. The second I see this crazy ass woman, I just call the police. They'd arrive and deal with her. Because I'm pretty sure Fierce to Fathom takes place in the US. And you know the police in the US, they be wielding shotguns and shit like that. Episode 4? No. A satanic cult in the middle of the woods? Yeah, no, I'm not surviving. I'd be done for. They literally perform a ritual in-game. That you see! Yeah, I'm not surviving episode 4 if I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm not surviving episode 4. The Tattletale is a very underrated, like, horror game. Like, personally, I think this game deserves a little more recognition. But honestly, the only reason I know it exists is because Super Horror Bro made a video about it like 15 years ago. So basically, in Tattletale, you're this kid who really wants to see your Christmas presents early. So at night, you sneak down, open your presents, and reveals this knockoff Furby called a Tattletale. Yeah, and by the way, just like a Furby, these things are extraordinarily loud. But here's the problem. You also got another Tattletale. This one's big and it's called Mama Tattletale. This thing doesn't like people touching its children. So it tries to kill you. Every night you try and sneak down to play with your Tattletale before Christmas, and you end up having to try and avoid getting murdered by this psychotic Furby looking thing. Also, in a commercial for the Mama Tattletale, it literally killed someone, which is crazy, I know. But yeah, this is really simple. I just wouldn't. I don't like looking at my Christmas presents early because I like it to be a surprise. So I just straight up would wait until Christmas Day, and then I would open my presents and be surprised. And since Mama Tattletale either would have been thrown out because the parents never bought it, or it would be deep in the attic and or basement and would never probably find its way out, it's that simple. I just would not open my Christmas presents early. It's that simple. Very easy, I know. Now, during early 2018 and late 2019, Granny was the biggest horror game on the market. Everyone was playing it. Your mom was playing it, your grandma was playing it, Markiplier was playing it, I was playing it. Everyone was playing it. Even I played it when I was younger. But I would get too scared and play the game mode where there was no Granny. Only Granny at the end. That's the only time I would ever play. Basically, in case you don't know how to play Granny or the story, basically you were just strolling through the woods when all of a sudden you get kidnapped by this psychotic grandmother who's definitely on crack, and basically that's it. And you have 5 lives, aka 5 days to escape Granny's house before she like kills you or some shit. There's only 2 ways you can escape, either by the front door or powering up the car that's in the basement. Alright, I've got 3 scenarios played out in my head for this grandmother, and here's all of them. So the first case scenario, Granny is just a very athletic woman, like a very athletic old grandmother. So, here's my plan. If Granny's just a very athletic old woman, I'd go to her kitchen, I would grab a knife. Also, this is a fun fact I just learned. Granny is actually blind. She has really good hearing and she's actually blind. So if she hears me, I just duck underneath the table and she wouldn't be able to find me, and eventually she'd leave the kitchen. So then I continue looking for a knife, and then I'd make very little noise creeping behind her, and then I would stab her in the back many times. I would even stab her in her head and stomach if I have to. And I'd just keep stabbing her until she drops dead on the floor and doesn't wake up. And then I can do whatever I want in the house, as long as I don't have to go near that spider. Ugh. And second case scenario, Granny's a demon. Like, look at them white eyes, and them look at her eyes, and them nasty ass teeth. Granny is definitely a spawn of Satan and a demon. So here's what I'd do. I'd get the crossbow. I'd knock her out using the crossbow. And I only have, how long do you have? I think like 1 minute and 30 seconds. Using my 1 minute and 30 seconds, or something else, I think it's 5. How long is like the countdown on like, how long does like Granny say knocked out? People that have played Granny, let me know in the comments, because I forgot. Anyway, so I'd use the crossbow, I'd knock her out. I'd use that time to grab a knife, and I'd also go into the basement, because I'm sure that she has some wood or maybe metal that I could use the knife to carve. If she is a demon, then I know one way to kill a demon, and that would be with the power of Christ. I would use the knife to carve the wood into a cross, and the next time Granny comes near me, I shine the cross at her, and if movies with demons have ever told me anything, the cross will kill her instantly, or banish the demon, or one or the other, or both. So, yeah, if she's a demon, I'll just make a cross, and I've won. And third scenario, if she isn't real, then I'm fine. I'm just vibing. I'm chilling. Okay, honestly, I don't know why I said 3 scenarios, because I only had 2 in mind. Also, by the way, Granny is so popular that they made like 5 other games. I haven't played the other 5. Well, I've played Granny 2, and I've played the 3rd one a little bit, but I don't know about the other ones.